There's exactly one company on planet Earth that owns their whole AI model, the chips that run it, the data centers they're housed in, and also the network that connects them. No renting, no partnerships, 100% ownership. And this quarter, that company posted its best results of their entire AI build-out. Cloud revenue up 82% and total revenue up 24%. And the stock still fell anyway. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly why I think the market got this one wrong. Let's get into it. Of course, the company I'm talking about is Google, or Alphabet. And here's what owning the whole stack actually means. They own Chrome, the browser, they own Gemini, the models running inside of it, and they build their own AI chips, TPUs, and they've been running them on their own data centers since 2015. That's 7 years before ChatGPT even existed. They own their own fiber optic network, including private cables that they paid themselves to lay along the ocean floor. And of course, they own YouTube, and their AI algorithm is probably the main reason you're watching this video right now. Now let's compare that to everyone else. Microsoft has its own data chips with Maya, its own data centers with Azure, but for its heaviest AI workloads, Microsoft still leans on OpenAI's models. It's a similar setup with Amazon, who lean heavily on Anthropic's. Google is the only one of these three companies that don't have to ask permission if they want to change one layer of this stack. Here's how their CEO put it in the actual earnings release this quarter. Our differentiated full stack approach to AI is delivering real, measurable value for consumers, customers, and our partners globally. That's not just a marketing line. That's the CEO describing exactly why this matters. And here's the part that actually matters for your money. If there's a breakthrough anywhere in that stack, a better model, faster chips, cheaper cooling, Google can take that and slot it straight into their systems. They don't need to renegotiate, they don't need to ask permission. No one else can do that. This isn't just theory, it's already showing up in their numbers. This quarter, Google split its 8th generation TPU chip into two separate chips for the first time. One built for training AI models, one built for running them. That's something they can only do because they own that layer of the stack. And the result? Well, Gemini's serving costs fell 78% over the last year. And buried in this quarter's filing is one sentence that most people scrolled straight past. Google Cloud generates product revenues primarily from the sale of TPU systems. This is the first quarter that Google recognizes revenue from selling their own chips directly, not selling storage or compute, selling their own hardware. Neither Amazon or Microsoft can do that today. So let's get into the actual quarter. Alphabet reported revenue of $119 billion, up 24% year over year. It's the 12th straight quarter of double-digit growth. Google Cloud did almost $25 billion, up 82%, and that growth is accelerating, not slowing down. 48%, then 63%, then 82% over the last 3 quarters. On top of that, Cloud's operating income nearly tripled from $2.8 billion to $8.8 billion, which took its margins from about 21% to 36% in a single year. They're getting bigger and more profitable at the same time. What's more, their cloud backlog, which is contracted future revenue, is now $514 billion. That all sounds great, right? But before we all dive in, some of those numbers can be a bit misleading, so let me explain. Net income jumped almost 300% to $112 billion, more than 4 times what it was a year ago. But almost $98 billion of that came from one place: unrealized gains on stock Google owned in other companies, mainly SpaceX and Anthropic. Google invested in SpaceX back in 2015. After SpaceX's IPO this year, that stake is now worth $94 billion on paper. But Google can't actually sell most of it. $80 billion is still under short-term lockup, with the other $14 billion tied up until the full restriction lifts. So if we strip that paper gain out of the earnings, things look a lot different. And I think that is what the market is reacting to. Operating income, the actual business, well, that grew by 30%, not 300. Now don't get me wrong, 30 is still incredible, but when you're priced for 300, things look a lot different. The other thing that investors are worried about is how much this whole AI build-out is costing. Google spent almost 45 billion on infrastructure this quarter alone, almost double what they spent in the same quarter last year. And they raised their full-year capex guidance again, this time to 205 billion for 2026, with management already warning that 2027 spending will be higher still. On top of that, Alphabet have now signed 810 billion in future purchase commitments. Chips, data centers, electricity, all locked in under contract. All of this hit their cash flow hard. Free cash flow came in at negative 5.9 billion, the first negative quarter in the company's history as a public company. They've stopped buying back their own stock entirely, and they're raising money instead, issuing new shares and new debt to fund the build-out. That's exactly why their stock fell 7% after these earnings. Yes, the growth is real, but the bill for getting there, that weighs heavy. So here's my honest take on this. And remember, this is just my opinion, not a recommendation. Yes, Google is spending an extraordinary amount of money, but they're the only company that I can point to that own every layer of the AI stack. The chips, the data centers, the distribution, the whole network. They can get their business in front of billions of people every single day. Their cloud business is accelerating and becoming more profitable, and they're also selling their own chips, and it's showing up directly as revenue. Ultimately, I believe they're spending a lot of money, but in all the right places. And I'm a firm believer of the best investment is in yourself. And no company is investing in themselves like Google right now. Guys, obviously do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just sharing my opinions on Google's earnings. And I think they're very interesting and quite promising. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with me or if you think I've missed anything. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Before you go, guys, you might want to check out this video where I discuss a company that could be the next NVIDIA. And on that note, I'll catch you in the next one, guys.